Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone. What is going on right now? I think that I'm in love with Matthew Kachuk. Are you guys all drunk?
I think at the beginning there, you heard the door chime from Chalmers' truck. And I think I'm going to leave that in for the people. I think they'll appreciate that.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's
on location.
You haven't been in studio in like a month. It's not surprising.
Oh, man. I came there every day. I came there every second day for 2 weeks. Had enough of that place.
And the lack of phone service here.
Yeah. There's
what you guys
cellular
are
service.
You're in a black hole.
It's a vortex down here.
There's no cell service. The Wi-Fi doesn't work. It's from another era, maybe. It's like on Lost, so they can't get radio signals on the island. It's the same here. Riverdale's from a different era, and your modern technology does not work down here.
I thought it was just a little brick thing, being an old brick house and Wi-Fi signals not being able to really pass through too well, but it is a Riverdale thing.
Isn't it because the towers downtown, the cell towers are on top of the big buildings? So for them to come down the hill is like beyond the amplitude. Like, isn't it pointed the wrong way?
They don't shoot down. Yeah, they
don't shoot
down.
High.
There's a high cell phone signal ceiling here. It's tough to touch.
If you're an executive at one of the 3 national cell phone companies and you're listening to this podcast, can you please point one of your aerials down and let us know?
Riverdale. We should build a giant clock on the top of the building, and it should double as a cell phone tower.
A giant.
And then when it gets struck with lightning, we can go back in time.
Go back in time. Back to the Future.
Like someone idea.
Do you even know what that movie is?
Yes.
That trilogy?
Yeah, I know.
You wouldn't last 1 minute in the future.
Or the past.
Yeah.
You're only good at this exact moment.
Here's a question. If you could go back 100 years in the past or 100 years forward, which one would you pick? If you could spend 1 day backwards and 1 day forwards.
Past.
Forward. I want to see the technology.
Past. Yeah, I'm torn because it's both. It'd be interesting to live. Life was simpler and probably a lot, not a lot more enjoyable. I shouldn't say that, but just simpler.
Well, it was harder in the fact that like everything is at your beck and call these days. And so like food's never a scarcity, like we have everything we could ever need. But if the last 25 to 30 years of technology has shown you where we're going, it could be a little scary to people who like the simpler time in the mid 80s, maybe early 90s. So you'd be going back to like the 1920s. You'd be just getting into like the Great Depression, and
you're in for both.
Pubic hair maintenance in those days was so spotty.
It was questionable.
Yeah, you had old snippers. You were probably trying to do a free ball job.
It was gauche. Yeah, a lot of nicking, if you will, and also the medicine of that time was interesting.
Mostly cocaine.
Watch. Speaking of medicine, if you wanted to watch about medicine in the early 1900s, watch The Nick. Friend of the nation Eric Johnson is in that HBO show with Clive Owen.
The 2 things doctors prescribe the most: cigarettes and coke.
Yeah. Oh, you just need a few smokes. You'll be fine, man. You just had a baby.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember the movie Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox? Anybody ever seen it?
Yes.
And he like is about to send this kid to surgery because he's got like a stomach problem, and the old man doctor just gives him a Coke and he burps and he's good. Simpler times, man.
Yaremchuk just drank a Coke while you said that.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you're cured. You're cured.
You have an abdominal problem?
How long have you been working on that can?
Okay.
It's got a story, doesn't it?
I cracked it when I started driving over. So I've been working on it for about
What did you eat on the way over?
I actually had lunch before. I had I made a big plate of chicken wings yesterday. I had some leftovers, air fried them, crisped them up. Very good.
Yeah.
And then on the drive over here, like a toddler, I had a can of Coke and a handful of Swedish berries.
Yeah. Tyler loves his confections.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. I have more hypothetical questions here. So you said you'd rather go forward to see the technology, right, Wanye?
Yeah. And
I yearn for both, man. I crave a simpler time, but I also crave innovation.
So I've thought about this a lot. If you could bring a person, just a random everyday Joe, you could bring them to present day from 100 years earlier or 100 years later than now. You can only pick one. Which one would you bring someone here from? And
so I only get to hear the guy from the future bitch about how we have none of the future stuff now?
Well, so like,
or do I get to go with him and see the shit?
No, from that point, it would be like an education for you because you'd be bringing someone from the future and being like, look at my computer. And he'd be like, do you want to know what we have now? And
I'd be like, yes, tell me stocks I should purchase
from the past.
Yeah, stock tips.
Stock tips.
100 years ago, sorry to interrupt. There isn't much you could do going that far back to help yourself now.
No.
They'd be like, do you want to buy downtown for $1.80? You're like, that probably won't stick. Right?
But bringing someone here from 100 years ago, would it be cool to like show them what life is like, or would their brains just explode and
they would call you a witch and they would lock themselves
here's
and they would start doing cocaine.
Start lighting you on fire.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with that. If you bring somebody back from 100 years ago and you pretty much know what the future lies, they're not going to tell you anything you
don't. What are you talking about? You don't know the future lies. We could all be dead.
Yeah.
100 years ago, 100 years ago, if you brought somebody back from 100 years ago to now, you know how things are going to play out. You know what type of person this person is going to be. They're going to be talking with an English accent. You bring somebody from 100 years back to you right now, and they're like a complete loser, and you're just like not going to be looking forward to what happened to this person, you know?
I bet you that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. 100 years from now in Riverdale, for example, I bet if you could grab a Riverdalian off the street and bring them in here from 100 years from now, and they looked around, they'd be like, most of your life is very similar, but you don't have the 3 seashells or whatever it is, Jay, right? They'll have some new thing we don't know. And like if
the restaurant wars.
Yeah. If you try to Taco Bell merging with Applebee's, if you tried to show a cell phone to somebody from 100 years ago, they don't even have like the building blocks mentally to comprehend that it's an improvement of a landline, and a landline's better than a telegraph, right? They don't have the like building blocks to see the technology. So they would just think you're a witch.
Yeah.
And if you're like, look at Instagram, they'd be like, what the fuck? You have glass with images in it? This is witchery.
But then you'd be like, it's not witchery. Everyone has it.
Which?
Then maybe by the end of the day, it'd be like a learning moment for everyone.
Think about going back 100 years, how none of your technology would work.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be like, you want to hear some iTunes? And then there's not connecting to shit. And you're like,
yeah, the nighttime. Like, what was the Netflix binging of the early late 1800s?
Cocaine for the most part.
Going outside and watching the cows.
Yeah.
That's
looking at a
Cowboy Chris and myself would both long for a simpler time back then.
I would sit there and be like, how do I get my information? And they're like, go to the local library and you can look shit up. I'm like, I don't know how long I would last without the internet, man.
Yeah.
Like the amount of books in people's houses at the turn of the century, like 1900, I bet you they had 3 books in their house. I bet you would read 20 books in your life.
Really?
So this is a good segue. This is a good segue talking about 100 years ago to mention that last night I put on my fancy pants. I got off the ranch, and I went to the Jubilee Auditorium, and I saw Hamilton. And I had not
musical about Lewis Hamilton.
The musical
Hamilton,
about
Ontario?
superstar Lewis Hamilton. It has
about the founding of Hamilton, Ontario. Jay.
The second half is about the
4
Hamilton
hours
Bulldogs and their Mem Cup run.
It's about the Mem Cup run.
It's a musical still. Like,
it was foreshadowing the Mem Cup run.
Yeah, no, but it was so I went, like, they had released it on Disney Plus, and me and my family, my wife, were going to watch it, but I'm kind of glad we didn't. I wanted to see it live for the first time.
Way better.
And I also wish that I would have maybe read a little bit about Alexander Hamilton, just so I could follow the story a little bit better. But I have to say, I was very pleasantly surprised. I guess
was he assassinated or killed in a duel?
He was killed in a duel by the very first person that he really became friends with when he came to America. He was an orphan from Charlestown, Nevis. He was an orphan, and he was sent here by his well-to-do aunt and uncle, to New York, to get a college education because he was very smart.
This is much like your origin story, Chalmers.
Yes, exactly. I mean, felt like I was looking in a mirror. I'm not gonna lie.
Who's your Aaron Burr?
Aaron Burr was
who's your Aaron Burr?
My Aaron Burr?
That guy who stole your truck that one time that you got back from.
You're my Aaron Burr, JR.
Oh boy, well, that's come
in the duel, then, bitch.
Yeah, fuck.
So yeah, they had a good relationship off the bat, and then in the end, they were kind of rival politicians when the new America was being formed. And even though duels were illegal at the time, Alexander Hamilton was the head of Congress, and Aaron Burr was the vice president behind Thomas Jefferson, and they met for an illegal duel. Thomas Jefferson, I'm not going to ruin it for everybody, but obviously
you're telling the entire story, so keep going.
All right. Well, he dies. He loses. He loses the
Super
duel.
Bowl 35. He dies at center field.
Well,
And-
people
and
should
even though-
know that. People should
And
know
even
that
though-
because it's
they
history.
should know that. Even though they were illegal duels at the time, they're
doing the math on the Super Bowl right now. That would have been in 1963. How was he still alive by then?
Aaron Burr was never tried for the crime and therefore went on to live till he was 80.
Well, a duel was a gentleman's agreement.
But it was illegal.
die.
They were illegal to do.
A lot of people died in duels. I'm not even kidding. In those days,
Like, I can't believe that the vice
More
president
than
of
you
the
think.
United States of America and the head of Congress could just go across the Hudson River into Staten Island and have themselves a duel. Doesn't
it
make
would
much sense to
solve
me.
things now.
There was no
Nancy
extradition.
Pelosi could fight somebody.
There was no extradition on Staten Island. That's why it was
So that's 1806. That's a year and what?
That wouldn't
16
have
years
been-
ago? Like,
a
that's
year and 16 years ago. What?
a year. Sorry, 116 years ago.
I don't think
1806
Hamilton
is
wasn't even around in the
116 years
NFL.
ago.
Sorry, 1806. Or was it not? No, it was 1806.
You
Holy
said
shit.
it. You said it. You're. I'm just repeating what you're saying.
Yeah,
No,
man.
no. In my mind, I kept thinking it was only 100 years ago. Like,
you
around-
want to be allowed to time travel and you can't even do these computations.
You got
on the
some
fly.
Yaremchuk math on the go.
You are declined. You cannot go back to visit Alexander Hamilton. Denied.
Speaking of Yaremchuk, I can't remember. I was listening to Owen, one of the Owen radio episodes recently, and you had a full Yaremchuk math situation, and no one corrected you, and I can't remember what it is.
Well, tough break.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I was sitting there. I'm like,
Well, there's my Yaremchuk mass situation. But anyways, Hamilton, watch it on Disney Plus. They rap so damn fast. It's like hard to follow every single thing, but it was pretty amazing. It reminded me like when I went to saw Book of Mormon. I love these things. I don't know what it is about
musicals are great.
They
man.
are great.
They are.
totally
I get
agree.
mesmerized
They
by
are
these things.
entertaining. Ask you. Well, I went to the Book of Mormon with your sister. I will give no more. I'll give no.
Damn.
I thought
Are you playing a sound thing? You're
Yaremchuk's,
really
like,
behind drive.
combing through menus.
I'll provide
looking
no
for a sound
context.
effect.
no, I thought
Boing along.
I'll provide no context as to why
I am
read the
lucky
Book
enough
of
to
Mormon
have a
with your
sister who is friends with my friends. That's all everybody needs to know.
And you should ask her what she thought of the Book of Mormon.
Oh,
yeah, ask your sister what she thought of her night.
ask her what you thought about after the Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon, you know.
After party.
What did she not like it or something?
We'll just ask. Just find out her take. Desi, I know you're listening. I would love your review of Book of Mormon when we went and watched it together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll have to ask her. I didn't know that because I don't know how you can walk away from that without loving it. It was amazing.
Well, I loved it. We watched it in this beautiful theater in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, that's
Isn't
when you guys were on your Cleveland trip?
international
You went to
date
that?
with Chalmers' sister.
Yeah,
Chalmers,
she's classy.
underneath your
Classy
very
lady.
nose.
Why? Okay, I don't know. Okay. Why were you in Cleveland to watch Book of Mormon?
How else would you see Book of Mormon?
They were there for a
Locally?
football game.
Well, I was
It
going to
four
watch the
couples.
Browns, bro.
Oh, was it a group trip and then the
No,
two
it's
of
just
you-
the two of them. They went to Cleveland.
I
to watch
said
a
I'm
football game.
providing no context or details aside
You're
from that.
clue in. You're uncovering an affair here. Just play it out.
Okay. All right.
This may make
An affair.
Chalmers
An
is
affair.
bad.
Also part of the downfall of Alexander Hamilton.
Is that why they fought?
No.
Oh. Do you remember that peanut butter ad back in the day that was recreating the
Yes.
Burr Hamilton? Aaron Burr. Remember?
That's where I first learned about
That's
it.
how I knew when Chalmers said today, he's like, who killed Hamilton? I was like, Aaron Burr
Yeah.
in a peanut butter ad from 1996.
Yeah.
I don't remember a thing of what
Buddy.
you're talking about.
Commercials then were about education.
Yeah, you learned a little and you bought peanut
learned
butter.
so much. Now it's about TikTok.
I believe
dances.
it was Kraft or Jiffy. No, it could have been Kraft. That's a Canadian company.
Yeah. Go
Jif.
Aaron Burr peanut butter.
Aaron
commercial.
Burr. I can see the actor.
Yeah.
You know what I remember about commercials back then was how good they made toys look because of the scenarios that were built. Like the toys were
Had
pretty.
nothing
Like,
to
Oh
do
my
with the
God. Is
toy?
that Steve Buscemi?
what?
Steve Boot? No. I know who you're thinking it is.
No.
Oh, it kind of looks
He's
like
another ugly character actor, though.
him. Oh, you're playing it.
Can you put this in the show?
Oh yeah, actually, I should have just one sec. Why don't I look this up? I don't know. I can probably add it into the show or some shit. I don't know. There is an ad about this. though.
Yaremchuk. Well, right now he's
Yaremchuk.
applying the peanut butter to.
This is a multimedia show with video and audio. I was led to believe.
There's Hamilton.
Did you know that today is National HVAC Engineering Day?
Really?
So hug your local.
Nah, no wonder they're all not working.
Yeah, that's why.
Wow. Yeah, this is straight up like in.
Yeah.
Aaron Burr, he says, and that's what makes them fight.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Burr. Okay. All right, this makes a ton of sense.
It's really, really good for the listeners, you guys.
Oh, it's a milk ad, I think.
Oh,
it's a milk ad. Yeah, he needs the milk. Yeah,
uncork his mouth.
Yeah.
That's right.
Classic peanut butter maneuver. And that's a Got Milk ad.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Apparently, that was the original Got Milk commercial. Like
the original one.
That might have been the first one because it's old.
It says original Got Milk commercial.
If you pitch that from the ad board, you are promoted to King Milk Ad Maker.
You're never paying for another carton of milk anywhere.
What's something we can do in Canadian history that would emulate the Got Milk Canadian version of that?
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know anything about
detaching from lower parliament. That must have been a contentious time.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't
and
that
a moment that required a lot of milk.
Sorry.
Upper Canada, Lower Canada.
Parliament. Upper Canada, Lower Canada. I remember going to a museum on a grade 8 trip in Quebec, and they were like, this is where Upper Canada was founded. Like, we should all know what Upper Canada was. We're like, what? It's 1994. We're waiting for computers to get good. That's how we talked back then, Yaremchuk.
Mm-hmm.
You know how long you would last in 1994, Yaremchuk?
Oh, less than a minute
at all.
Less than a minute. A horde of birds would just attack you and peck you clean.
56 seconds.
56.
You wouldn't be able to handle all the neon.
94, you could go back because you could go to the local radio station with your voice. You just wouldn't know any of the players of the day. You could make a
He would see a T-shirt when it changed color or when it got temperature, it would change color and it would blow your mind.
Hypercolor T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yaremchuk, do you know who Casey Kasem is?
Yeah.
Old pitcher for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
No. All-time best radio voice. Casey Kasem, American top 40.
This is Casey Kasem.
This is Casey Kasem. You got.
I think you've learned a lot today.
Insert that. Actually, you're probably not going to take much pride in your editing. No. So I doubt we're going to get the commercial for the milk, and I doubt we're going to get a little Casey Kasem snippet here.
He would not have been able to handle the fall of communism and the Berlin Wall.
What would you have done if you saw the Berlin Wall fell? You probably would have just freaked out, started screaming loudly.
And the formation of the CIS.
You wouldn't have handled that.
The formation of the CIS?
The new Russian Republic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Canadian University Sports. My bad.
The CIS. You somehow found a U there. What is CIS? Yeah. Well, you said university. I'm like, what the fuck?
You guys should duel. Dueling in those days, though, the guns were so terrible.
We'd have to go to what the hell, Accidental Beach, because that's unpoliced.
Yeah, international waters.
International waters. No rules apply.
Yeah.
And we have to find, but we have to use a musket.
Yeah, like a gun in those days is basically a trumpet. You loaded a bullet in that went, and that's how you shot people. And it was so inaccurate that you could stand at 100 paces and shoot at each other for an afternoon and never hit anything.
Yeah, there was some curve you had to play.
Duels ended in nothing. One guy shot. It was declared a draw.
Yeah, if you hit the guy, that was a win.
Yeah, it was like
there was never an intention to kill the other man.
Yeah, you're just trying to
wouldn't they pace closer and closer to each other too? Isn't that how a duel works?
But then you got to load. You got to get your little pipe cleaner
towards each other and shot.
No, they'd back to back 10 paces away and then
turn and fire.
Right. Turn and fire. That's what it is.
Turn and fire.
Yeah.
Chalmers, I didn't just see Hamilton last night. I'm going off of my knowledge of a milk ad I haven't seen in 30 years. Give me a break.
Spoiler alert, Hamilton pointed his gun into the air.
Did he say got milk in the play at the end?
What was he hoping for by doing that?
That a respectable man wouldn't fire upon a man who is holding his gun in the air.
So then why would he go into the duel if he wasn't like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah. That undefined.
Okay. That doesn't
find at this moment. Nope, it sure doesn't.
I had something else I wanted to say on this whole topic.
You did? On the topic of Aaron Burr?
No, not on that topic. I just always think...
Isn't he a pitcher for the Blue Jays?
Maybe. That'd be Aaron Loop. Old pitcher for the Jays. I don't know. I always think about when we do episodes like this, we're almost at the 20-minute mark and it's just basically been nonsense.
It's not even true. We've talked about sports. We've talked about peanut
history.
Butter.
But I just imagine being someone who comes to Oilers Nation and is like, I'm going to get into podcasts. Bet you there's some good off-season talk in this one. We got to, and they download this and they're sitting there right now being like, what the fuck?
Well, I saw someone tweet today. I'm looking for a podcast to listen to that's just mindless.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
no, this is a think piece.
And I really, it is, it can, if you want it to be, and you actually think about what we're talking about, you could fall down a rabbit hole. There is a think piece to be had here, or that is always ongoing, I should say. And I wanted to say us, but I also didn't want to be like, oh, listen to my podcast.
I'm going to shout out 2 anonymous folks that DM us all the time that said, both of them, you idiots, half the time you start talking about stuff and I start listening to you, then I go down the rabbit hole you're on, and then you'll change topic, but I'm watching the video you talked about. And they're like, what the one person say? They're like, it's infectious how you guys talk. Like I find myself drawn into your rabbit holes. So one person on social media is enough market research to know
That's it.
This is a good show.
That's a strong sample size.
Mhm.
That's 100%.
100%. Confidence interval, high. That's
High.
a statistical term, Yaremchuk.
What's 1 divided by 1? Quick.
1.
Bingo.
Happy National HVAC Day. Boom.
All right. Chalmers, you'll like this, a little off topic.
How dare you?
I'm almost done laying the flooring in my new house. And
Yeah, how's your little reno going? You did all the demo. I saw that you were very good at posting pictures of that on social media, but I haven't seen much more. What's going down?
I forgot to mark out where the floor vents are. In too deep now. So that's
keep
really,
all that air on the inside. You don't need it.
And
Leash pack day, you disclosed
You're
this.
supposed to mark them. You're supposed to mark
All
them as you
days.
go.
Oh, so painful.
So now I need to like go do some reverse measurements in the basement and figure out where the floor vents are. Otherwise, I'll just be drilling blindly to reopen them. Or to
Get an earth magnet.
A what?
Get some earth magnets. They're the most powerful magnets you can get. And because the heat registers are metal, you should be able to find the outline of it.
And then put all your credit cards up against it.
Go around your house and measure how far away from the exterior wall that they put most of them. And that's if it's consistent throughout the parts you can see that you haven't done the flooring, then they're relatively that far away from the wall. And then you could take an earth magnet. And if you run the earth magnet and it sticks to the floor and you run it along, and they are like, if you've got regular 3x10 vents, they're 3.5 or 3.25 inches by 10.25 inches. And therefore you can find them pretty easy with an earth magnet. What kind of floor did you put down?
AstroTurf?
Yeah, it's just putting
It's on
green.
brand.
No, it's like luxury vinyl. Yeah, luxury. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
so it's thin enough that you should be able to
nice
get it.
adjective
Different
there.
than like the normal vinyl.
Yeah. I bet you paid all cash for those
Yeah, you
luxury.
Fucking right, I did.
You should be able to find those vents with an earth magnet through that because it's not that thick a material.
All right, there you
Get a
go.
luxury one though. Luxury earth
Am
magnet.
I cutting out or something?
No, just not funny.
Just not,
I'm not trying to be funny.
I'm just
trying to be
kidding.
helpful.
You're funny.
Wanye.
You're funny.
I'm not trying to be funny, bro.
You're funny.
Trying to be helpful.
Well, you know what? Your construction tips were supposed to be semi-regular.
Okay, well, here's a construction tip. When laying floor, mark out the vents as you're laying the floor.
Right.
Dry fit the piece and then cut the portion of the vent out. Then glue or click the piece into place and then mark the other side of the vent. There's my construction tip for the day.
That's a good tip.
just got to be an easier way to do it than that.
Nope, that's pretty much the way.
Just refuse to have heat on that floor.
Yeah. So by the time we figured out we were doing it, we were able to mark off a few of them. So there are only, I think, like 4 upstairs.
The first person that laid the piece of flooring over top of the vent, it didn't clue into them like, hey, there's a vent here.
Well, no. So the issue
Can't slow down momentum, man.
No, man, you got to just keep going. Let God sort them out.
That too. But when we were doing the demo, we didn't want to get a bunch of dust and like concrete chunks and all that shit down the vents. So we taped over them. So you kind of just forgot they were there.
But there was tape on the floor.
Yeah, but I mean, tape, come on. I don't know.
What?
And part of it too is when you get on a roll and you're going, like, it's just addictive, man. Like I've just
Cut all the corners, man.
You just go as quick as you can.
As fast as possible. That is the golden rule of construction.
Here's the other one.
Fast as possible equals mistakes.
If you cut corners in pairs, they cancel each other out. Right?
So for every 2 vents I covered up, it's like I didn't cover up any.
Exactly.
Cut twice, measure once.
Ooh, that's not something I'm good at. I'm a big fan of just eyeballing it.
That's what you do.
I'm a feel guy.
Yeah.
That's why I I don't use analytics to bet. I feel my bets.
Yeah.
Just like
I have this
feel my
feeling if I would have
construction.
if I would have been there while you guys were laying the floor, I would have probably had an aneurysm.
Yes.
No. My dad's there supervising.
Oh, wow. Geez.
No, he did a great job on those vets.
Good job supervising.
Yaremchuk.
Oh no, he low-key wanted to kill me, even though it's not his house.
If you want Chalmers to do your work for you in a construction setting, feign incompetence. Use the wrong end of the hammer, and he'll come flying over and be like, "You don't even know how to do this." And next thing you know, he built your staircase for you for free.
Now, hearing what we've just heard Tyler tell us, can we not all believe that he actually did flood his girlfriend's parents'
Oh,
basement?
it's 100% at this
Yeah.
point.
Okay. It's
You have an
automatic.
extra wide girth toilet
Like,
installing at the house.
He
We
tried
are
to
getting
flush.
lost.
He tried to flush quick drying cement down the toilet
No, come on.
while he was eating a burrito. Of course.
I'm pretty proud of myself for the way I've handled the bulk of this renovation, floorboards aside. I didn't think I could do a lot of the stuff I've been doing.
Pixar didn't happen.
I have a picture of what the floor looks like.
You're doing such a good job adulting, Yaremchuk. Like you're just not only living on your own, but you're doing renos and making moves on the fly.
Oh,
It's nice flooring.
that's a retro. Oh, that's mid-century mod. That's a retro.
That's a
the
big
same
thing.
color as my ceiling.
If you don't watch your step, you're gonna have a kid in under 36 months.
Yeah.
What's the next step you're doing there?
Kid, what's the next step? I'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah.
Wink.
So the flooring, I would say, because we're only doing the main or the upstairs for now. I would say we're about 80 to 85% on the flooring. So that's going to get finished off today or tonight. And then we got to go buy baseboards, luxury baseboards.
You got to get the luxury.
Oh my God.
Okay, so do you remember my construction tip about buying finishing materials?
No.
I don't think he shared it.
Don't go. Yes, I did. I've said it on here before. Do not go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a Rona to buy baseboard.
Not planning.
He's going to the luxury finishing store.
They charge a lot more per linear
Where
foot.
you go, Baseboard
than-
Depot? Where do you head,
No.
Chalmers? Baseboard
Go to
Mart?
the surplus store.
Can you text me some recommendations for where I should get my baseboards? from?
Cut down
Absolutely,
a fine
I've got my
pine
favorite
tree
place.
and hew them by
Baseboards
hand.
are us.
Yeah.
If it's not in St. Albert, I'm not interested.
Baseboards.net
It's
online.
basically over. It's over by the Labatt Brewery. It couldn't be any further from St. Albert.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably a bit too
There's
far.
places around here.
no
Actually, I'll send
time.
you one from
There's
St.
no
Albert.
time.
I'm in St. Albert right now.
What?
It's lovely
Oh.
out here.
I'll text you the address. You can go check out the work. I'll tell you where I.
Your Yaremchuk is rattled that you're in St. Albert right now. It's
I already-
basement right
Yeah,
now. He's
so
like,
defensive.
where are you exactly? Don't
I
go
just
there.
got to go search all the number. Remember, you put your number on the old
yeah.
Instagram there.
Yeah, don't.
Here's what I know about St. Albert, Chalmers. At any given red light, there are two smug baby boomers in Corvettes at any given time.
Oh yeah. When you drive, the baby boomers is one thing, but also when you drive, I always enjoy being like, you're in your parents' car. Oh, that's might be your own car. You're in your parents' car.
It seems like every day in St. Albert is Sunday drivers and they're at the light and like she's got her hair done and the top's off the wagon and they're just sitting there flexing. And it's hard to hate on it. They're very
You
happy.
think they've got the top down after they got their hair done?
Yeah, man. They're having.
Are you saying these people are not educated?
They're
These guys are
so
not smart?
liquid rich. It
Yeah.
doesn't even matter when you're this rich.
Because they're going to go because they're on their way to go get their hair done.
They go get blowouts.
Oh.
Even the husband, they're so rich.
Husbands get blowouts,
But
all
it's
right.
strange because there isn't like it's just everyone has a Corvette and like a new one.
The new ones look like Lamborghinis.
I know.
It's insane.
Shut up, Brandon Perlini.
And I'm like, all these houses in St. Albert have a Corvette in the driveway. What the fuck? Sherwood Park? You think they got Corvettes like that? Fat fucking
Oh, yeah.
bunch of poor people out in Sherwood Park compared to St. Albert.
Yep.
That's where the real money's at. You know who was born in St. Albert? Jerome McGinley.
Yep.
Mark Messier.
Uh-huh.
Grant Fuhrer.
No, he's a Spruce Grove guy.
Spruce Grove.
Stu Barnes?
Stu Barnes.
Stu Barnes.
Stu Barnes also a Spruce Grove guy.
Oh, but isn't the arena named after him?
in Stony, I think it is, or Spruce, one of the two. Not
Oh,
St.
yeah.
Oh,
St.
it's
Albert is
Oh.
Troy Murray, Mark Messier, Jerome McGinley.
What
Those are-
about
that's the
Terry
hatchet.
Aikinsdale?
Yep.
Well, the Aikinsdale Arena is no longer called that.
Yeah.
It's called Jerome McGinley Arena.
Do you know why?
They
It's
had a
called-
duel.
Mhm. Do you know
Jerome
why
and
it's called
Terry.
St. Albert?
Why?
Because the guy invented Albert's restaurants, put one there, and then they canonized him and made him a saint.
Yeah.
Saint Albert's.
Well, have you tried their pancakes?
Delicious.
They're heavenly.
Yes.
Thank you.
How do you not ascend? St. Albert's.
Can we talk about the only hockey thing there is to talk about today?
Sure.
If you could go back in time 100 years and watch a hockey game, or go
That would be awesome.
Or go forwards 100 years and watch a hockey game.
Forward.
What would the sport be like?
The thing is, we kind of know what it was like 100 years ago.
I know.
They're playing on Rideau Canal.
Literally, you're sitting like with no glass, like head over the boards. Like it'd be awesome.
The referees are
smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's smoking.
Everyone's smoking.
You're smoking.
Sure, because we didn't know. Like that's the thing. Like we didn't know cigarettes are bad for us until the 60s.
They weren't bad for you until then. They changed them in the 60s.
That's the thing. They did something to
cigarettes
change
in the 40s.
They were fine before. War. Yeah, they did everything you needed.
Won World War II.
They helped with speech impediments.
Yeah, they helped you stay awake to do more cocaine.
They got you through it all.
So would you rather go 100 years back or 100 years forward to watch a hockey game?
Is there hockey in 100 years?
I feel like in 100 years you're watching hockey in your mind.
Yeah, like I feel like esports and real life are just going to continue to fuse until it's all.
We're all just in chambers.
What if you live in a world where the esports is more entertaining than the real sports?
Oh,
and kids are like, why would I even give a fuck?
I know I sound like a boomer when I say that, but how?
I don't know, but just imagine that the taste change. People are like, why would I watch real sport? Like,
it's true. It's true.
Prosthetics. When I was a little kid, a prosthetic limb was effectively just limping around with a telephone pole attached to your knee. It had no give. You could tell immediately. Only came in one color, like weird taupe, right? Okay. Now they're like, you can't run in the Olympics if you don't have real legs, because it actually could be conceivably better for you to have Oscar Pistorius's on, right? Just continue on with esports where you're like, why would I watch a real game? No one hits, no one this, no one that. Esports, unbelievable. Gretzky plays Lemieux every night or whatever it is. It could be better, I'm saying.
So my answer is the future.
Yeah.
Well, it made coaching a lot easier, Chalmers, for you.
I have
In the future, will they review overtime goals?
You're mad about that too many men last night?
No, I'm not mad about it at all. It's just something to talk about.
I have a photo at my house of the Thistle rink, which was the original prior to the Edmonton Gardens pro hockey rink. It's an amazing picture because all the ads are for coal, right? There's all these different coal companies, and the referees stand on the nets in trench coats.
Yes.
They're the goal judges, and they stand
right
on the back of the nets.
Smoking.
On the ice, smoking. They're the goal judge.
That was the goal judge.
Went in.
Yeah. Could have used one of those last night.
No better. Well, that puck went in.
I know.
Didn't need it. Sure. Could use a goal judge.
If you rolled out the Oilers against that Edmonton team at Thistle Rink and you're like, hockey match time, bitch, one slap shot would hit that referee. He would die on the ice. Oh. There's no glass in the rink. People are leaning over smoking. It's very like, you go 100 years in the future, you're probably like, oh, wow, the goalies have 9-foot limbs. And you're like, you're still using all your human limbs in the past. Like we're just torsos in the future.
And they would have played with straight blades too then, right? Like the curve didn't come till
not
different
much
time.
later.
I bet you'd be bored out of your mind at an old hockey game. You're like, there's no music. But
you wouldn't think that. It was different.
No, if you came back now.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's like, don't you want
this
a cigarette?
Is slow.
You're like, ugh.
This is so slow.
In the future, jerseys are like electronic. You know,
they're
they're
NFTs.
Yeah, they're NFTs.
You go to the games and AI just shows you the players you want to see. So I'm just watching Jordan Eberle in my 90s, and they're just like, this is what it would be like. He'd have been amazing.
I don't think it could ever get to that point where like it's just not. It'll exist differently, but I think there will always be an appetite for live, real sports. I do.
It's very primal, right? So, and I think I guess that can evolve.
Yeah.
In terms of what our definition of primal. Before it used to be we want to see people kill each other.
True.
And now it's evolved just to watch people, shoot a puck around.
Yeah.
They should bring that back. Have you seen the thing on like YouTube where in Russia they have like Ultimate Fighter, but there's 2 versus 1?
What?
Jeez.
Yeah. There's 2 fighters versus 1 fighter.
What the fuck?
And it's crazy.
So it's just
and they
come at him. How do you get the 2 and how do you be the 1? Like, do they draw?
I've seen the one win. Like I've seen the one just dominate, just keep the other guy in front of the other guy and then just knock one of them out. And then the other guy, I don't know if they like rank these people and it has to be like 2 lesser fighters versus 1 good fighter, but for some reason, when I go on my search, when I go to my search in the Instagram, that comes up. So I don't know what the hell I'm watching to see that shit.
Hey, we talked about Instagram algorithms. The Instagram algorithm recently, on top of reintroducing
it doubled down.
Yeah, I'm back on the Viagra pills like every 10 minutes on my Instagram stories. It's nuts. But also the algorithm for some reason.
It's all that luxury wood you're laying down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I keep saying, luxury wood. And they're like, this guy wants ads for Viagra. But I keep getting like the recommended videos or reels. They're just billiards. But like, I haven't played a game of pool. I did it one of the watch parties. I played a listener. And other than that, I haven't played it in a year. And for some reason, Instagram, and it's been consistent for like 4 weeks now. They're like, this guy wants to see optimal billiard strategies. And it's like, hit the ball in this side for when you have this kind of a shot, blah, blah, blah. It's weird that the algorithm thinks I'm into this.
Pocket pool?
Yeah. What are you with?
Is that why?
Do you play pocket pool?
Oh, no, I don't play pocket pool.
Do you know what pocket pool means?
He doesn't.
No,
he doesn't.
I don't know what we're talking about. No.
Right.
This is why you're getting all the reels.
You play a lot of pocket pool.
The big pocket pool guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You would
like the little.
You wouldn't stand a chance in the 90s.
Urban Dictionary pocket pool and then read it.
I'm not reading it.
My god. You're Yaremchuk.
I hate when you guys just just
what? It's just what?
Read aloud, please. For those of us at home who don't have your computer.
I'm assuming there's maybe one other person who might not know what it means.
Oh man, I've never heard this expression before.
How do they describe it in Urban Dictionary?
I don't want to read it really.
I think you need to. Though.
Let's see.
Giving your old meat and two veg a little give go in the pocket.
Oh, okay. This is very generic. When you got your hand in your pants and you're playing with that hangy thing on your body on the lower part.
Yeah, your cue.
This is the most,
your cue and two balls.
Yes. Then people start looking at you because you know you're having fun over there.
You didn't
Person
WebMD this. What website is this?
Person one. This is Urban Dictionary. Person one. Matthew's over here playing pocket pool, isn't he? Person two. Yep. I bet he's having a ball. Person one. Nasty ass bitch. End of scene.
What is the third nasty ass bitch have anything to do with it?
Well, that's the first person. Yeah. Just doubling down on the fact that Patrick is just won't stop playing pool in his pocket. Mm-hmm. Hence, Yaremchuk.
I've never heard that
getting billiard strategies.
Before. I'm sure I'm not alone.
What do you call playing pocket pool?
I thought you guys were talking about that little like 8-ball pool mini game on your phone. I was like, no, I don't play that either.
That's phone pool.
Sometimes I'll play that and pocket pool if I have time.
My mind is not permanently in the gutter.
It says the guy who's getting Viagra ads on the Reggie.
Yeah, that's just mind blowing.
As a guy who doesn't get sex ads on his social media, I could say you're a pervert.
But it's not even like the ads are not targeted at me in like a sexy way. It's not like, hey, want to last longer in bed?
They're
just like, you need to refill your subscription. Yeah. That's what you're getting.
Maybe you have the profile of an elderly man.
That's true.
And the algorithm has correctly identified your biological spirit.
That's probably true.
Like, this guy never likes photos of anything for young people, only likes statistics and infographics. He's probably 80.
I'm surprised you don't get targeted for car meals.
Car meals, yeah.
Anyways, on the topic of that goal, what do we all think?
Wait, we weren't talking about Levi's anymore?
We're talking about Kadri coming in, scoring an OT, and there was an extra player on the ice. Is that what you want to talk about?
Well, just Chalmers was trying to get our reaction from it. So Chalmers, what do you think?
Well, what I thought was John Cooper was very, very weird in his post game. So then they broke it down. And I mean, in the moment, nobody on the bench in Tampa said anything. Nobody noticed it. But when you go back and you look, and obviously the game sheet comes out and there's 6 players, not one of them actually being Nathan McKinnon, which is interesting because since he's the player that was heading off. I mean, it's just unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm not mad about it. I just think it's, it is what it is. And I definitely think that Colorado deserves it anyways to win this series.
Yeah. But the thing that bugs me is like everyone's sharing that screenshot of like, oh, look, McKinnon's feet are on the ice when Kadri like gets the puck. But Tampa Bay had 2 guys who were a foot away from the boards and all their players up. Like it's just
no, but it was the change, right? Because he changed like that. The rule is 5 feet away, and he was probably 25 feet away.
Was it actually Kadri who came on? Because I also thought it might have been Comfer from the angle.
Oh, I don't know. Well, allegedly, it's at the end of the day, Who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's not egregious enough, if you're Tampa Bay and you didn't catch it immediately, then it's probably not really too many men. And I thought it was weird how John Cooper was like eulogizing their season and their 3 trips to the Stanley Cup. And he did the whole thing where he was like, oh, it's just so hard. 3 straight cup finals. And, they write the rules against us for parity so that we can't do this. And we did. And I'm like, dude, you guys exploited the LTIR rule like multiple times. Like, what are you even talking about? The rules are written against you. There's loopholes in place to help you over the last couple of seasons. What?
Maybe somehow something happens in the cup final and there's like a controversy and they declare the cup final null and void and they have to roll it back to the other teams in the Western and the Eastern Conference finals. And then they call everybody back in to replay the finals with the other conference team.
So it'd be Oilers versus Rangers. What we all want.
When does it start? In a week?
Probably.
I don't know if I like Smith. I think he probably let himself go loose in the last 10 days.
Shesterkin would be tough to, all the boys would have let loose after that, as they should.
Mm-hmm. But Smith the most, because I feel like he's in retirement mode. I feel like Smith has quit hockey.
I don't think he's playing next year, no.
Yeah. I think it'd be harder to get him to shovel himself back into his Spanx and come on down to the rink than most.
I don't think he needs Spanx. That guy's in like legit. No, he's like the best. Yeah, he's like the most fit Oiler
of all the Oilers. Is he the most fit Oiler? I know he's a fitness freak.
Apparently, yeah, he's just ripped. Keith is too.
I bet you Connor looks at Keith and sees like how fit he is in his old age, and he's like, "I'm going to do that too, bitch."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think Connor McDavid's a good player, Yaremchuk?
We define good. As good as Auston Matthews? No.
Wow. Is Auston Matthews just going to turn into Ron Jeremy and go to jail too? Like, what's going on here?
It's a look.
Oh, man.
He's playing into it. I mean, obviously, he's got such game with the gals. He can just look like Ron Jeremy. It doesn't matter.
He's got an angle, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Mark Spector left Auston Matthews, voted him 5th?
Yeah. On his Hart list, which I didn't understand. But also, there were 5 voters in total. One of them was Seth Rurabaugh from Pittsburgh, who didn't have McDavid on his ballot. He didn't think Connor McDavid was one of the 5 most valuable players in the NHL this season. He had JT Miller on his ballot. JT Miller.
If they would have made the playoffs, JT Miller is worthy of the conversation. But remember, this is my beef with this, is that the definition of the Hart is most important to your team. Toronto makes the playoffs without Matthews.
Yeah.
So is he like, he scored 60 goals? Great. Here's your Rocket Richard award. Does this still mean you're the most important to your team?
That's where the debate comes in. I'm not sold on the Oilers being a playoff team if they don't have Connor McDavid.
So Connor is definitely most important to his team. I think Shesterkin should have won it. He was most important to his team in the regular season.
The only issue was he only played like 50 some games. So like you have to draw that line somewhere of like, you need to be valuable, but you need to also contribute as much value as the guys playing 60, 70, 80 games.
Yeah, fair. So then it should have been McDavid, I guess. Like I'm trying to be unbiased here.
I have no problem with Matthews winning because like it's an exceptional season, 60 goals. We know the definition of the award is like just so loose and lost.
Like Johnny Gaudreau should have been in the conversation for his 5-on-5 scoring.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Does Calgary make the playoffs without him though? Probably.
Yeah, that would be the argument. They probably would.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't totally stunned that McDavid didn't win just because the sports books had it so favored at Matthews.
I know. I thought. Well, and I tried to fade that because I thought it was Leafs fans.
And it turns out it wasn't even close, which I was surprised at how Matthews ran away with it.
Yeah, that was shocking to me. Where the Norris was very close.
The Norris, Yossi had more first place votes and didn't win. That was really surprising.
Did Chalmers drop out?
Yeah, Chalmers is gone and it stopped recording at one point. So now I'm only using the Zoom recording. I don't know.
Good work.
Yeah. Oh, Chalmers is back. But you know what we have to do before we let in Chris Chalmers? We have to pause for an ad.
Yeah, nice.
All right, there we go. Let's bring back Chalmers. Where'd you go, Chalmers?
Do you timestamp that?
I remember it in my head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Rain Man. But you won't remember to cut for the vents.
We're all good at some stuff, not everything.
That's fair.
Yep, exactly.
That's fair.
Chalmers, you back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was very, very weird. I just all of a sudden lost you guys.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. You're not in studio.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it?
Is there a day that would work better?
100 years in the future?
Or 100 years in the past?
No, I don't think a day would work better. I believe a time would work better. I believe later in the day. 1 o'clock is the middle of the day for me.
Mm-hmm. I think most people.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll be in studio. I really like coming in studio. It's a better conversation. I have more fun. I have more energy. I have more ideas comes to fly to my head when I'm not sitting in my truck looking at the things that are happening in front of me that I need to go deal with when I'm done here. And so, like, trust me, I'd love to be in there. I really, really would.
But life gets in the way.
Life gets in the way, but life, like I said last week, life's getting easier. So there'll be a return to studio pretty soon here.
Let me hit you with a scenario that is completely related to what we're talking about. The other day, I was walking near Wanye Manor, the palatial estate, and there was an ad on a telephone pole for a missing cat. And I noted it as I walked past. But
I've heard this story, I think.
Oh, no.
And I don't know.
Oh, no, I know this story too. Shit.
And I'm crossing the street. No, sorry. And I see this thing, and then fine. A day later, I'm driving home, very close by to the pole. And a coyote, this is right on the river, crosses the street with half a cat in its mouth. Like, I saw a cat's spine. And this coyote looks so happy. It looks like a dog that's bringing back a baseball. It's like ears are up and it's not wagging a tail, but it's thrilled. And I see this and I'm like, God damn, that is disgusting. The neighborhood was as though a missile struck the middle of the road. There's two people. They're just standing and pointing. A lady pulled over in her car. She's on her phone. Like, the Karens have scrambled. Do I contact the owner of the cat ad?
No. Someone has.
You think?
Oh, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I would just let them live.
No, closure.
Yeah, but here's
it might not be his
scenario.
cat, though.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, you couldn't tell from the picture if it was the same cat?
Couldn't tell by its spine?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It did feature the spine x-ray in the ad, but like, it was just a cat. I don't know if it was the cat. So do you?
No, unless you
like, oh, hey, helpfully I saw half a cat walking across the street in the mouth of a coyote.
Coyote looked thrilled, though.
Or do you let them have the false hope will never die that maybe Mr. Whiskers has just gone to Calgary for the weekend?
Yeah, you let the hope of the cat ever coming back slowly.
No, well, and also you can't be sure that it's the cat, so you don't want to give bad information.
Oh, it was just a cat, not necessarily the cat, but damn, was that grisly. I've seen most seasons of Walking Dead, and that was pretty gross.
This is why it was a legit beef with that lady that was putting cat food in our alley to feed the cats, which was actually attracting the coyotes to then want to eat the cats.
Yeah, I remember this. This was quite the real life controversy for a few episodes.
Well, it was just.
Is that why you moved?
It was too much.
Neighborhood is too.
We're under attack.
Yeah.
JR, speaking of pets and stuff, can you explain to me, my wife told me that she was going to be emceeing an event this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, oh, you'll see Jay. He's Hot Dog is participating in an event. And I said, oh, what? What the hell are you talking about?
World Dog Congress?
He is the celebrity. It's celebrity dash hound in the dash hound race.
So there's a dash hound race at Pets in the Park?
Hell yeah, buddy. Oilers Nation, it's Nation beer gardens.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Wherever they choose to put the beer garden.
Is there coyote?
No, where is the thing? Jay, I'm asking you for information about this thing. You got to give more information than he's running in a race.
Oh, okay. Well, Pets in the Park, put on by the Edmonton Humane Society. It's a fundraiser for the Edmonton Humane Society. There's a big walk/run that's happening in the morning. And then there's activities throughout the day and stuff that you can actually enter your pets into. So there's like an agility one.
Hot Dog good at that?
Well, the obstacles are too tall. He's got little legs. So there's a dash hound race. What? So that's why I'm like they asked me, I'm like, absolutely. So we shot a little training video.
I remember
that. Getting ready for it.
How do you think he's going to do?
Obviously big bias. We think he's this little wiener missile, but the truth about Hot Dog is
are you laughing at wiener missile? Yeah.
This is the truth about Hot Dog. He was the runt of his litter.
Yeah.
And so when you see him against other mini dash hounds, don't even compare him to Stanley. He's smaller and his legs are shorter. So he's got, so it's going to be, I think but Dachshunds, like they're easily distracted too. Like if you ever see them go in races, they like run all over the place and get sidetracked. So I really believe in Hot Dog's focus and love for his mom.
So what is, yes. Okay. So
the
what
strategy
is
I'm going to release them and Eva's going to be at the finish line with treats. So like we're going to sit there at the at the start line and Eva's going to be there. And then Eva's going to like walk backwards. So he's going to be excited to try to get to her. And then I'll let him go. And hopefully he just kind of tones out the fact that there's other people competing against him, because that could just throw him off. Two ways. It could scare him, or he could just want to, it all depends. He's so interesting with other dogs, or he might just like want to like play. Exactly. He because of his height, his proximity to the ground, he loves going after dogs' feet. Because that's all he's got.
He's got a little PK Sluban in him.
He's a big Slubanner. So yeah, so it'll be interesting. And I'm hoping also, because he's got the short legs, the grass length is going to be very important.
Bring a mower.
Like in terms of F1, perfectly designed. He is as low as you can get, as long as he doesn't porpoise. And that's for our F1 listeners out there.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, so I believe
you're gonna know right off the bat when you're holding him there. If he's looking side to side and he's getting real amped up, he might just end up trying to play with another dog.
I know. So but I think he's going to be itching to see his mom. That's what we're betting on.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Points bet has Hot Dog at plus 150.
Ooh, what's the favorite?
Frank, who is short for Frankfurter.
Okay.
Bigger dog. Red. He's a red dachshund.
So you actually know the competition in this thing?
No, I'm just making this up. Our neighborhood.
I would love to
there's another dachshund in our neighborhood, and his name's Frank. So what I've been doing for the last month is anytime I see a dachshund owner, whether I'm with Hot Dog or not, I challenge them to come race Hot Dog.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's in the name of charity. It raises money. It's like, come enjoy a beautiful Sunday in the park and go to the beer gardens and have a beer and watch wiener dogs race. Like, that's funny.
So what's his record against these dogs in the unsanctioned events?
He's never had a race.
Oh, nobody's ever taken you up on the race.
He's only trained. No. So I say, come June 26th. Hot Dog wants a piece.
Like you don't challenge them to a race on the spot as a training mechanism. You're telling these other dachshund owners, like, come to the park, Hot Dog.
See, that's what I would have been doing.
Either like Hot Dog down here wants to challenge, Teddy over there to a race on June 26th. Come get some.
You guys should race dachshunds for pinks.
We should.
Winner gets to keep the other dog.
Oh, that's messed up.
For keeps.
Hey,
all right.
It's all there's no friends in dachshund racing.
That's fair. You mentioned F1. We threw an F1 party, Nation F1 party.
We did.
Teamed up with our friends at the Pint and Alfa Romeo of Edmonton, right?
We did.
Alfa Romeo.
It was very well attended for a hockey blog to host an F1 event. It was very well attended. F1's huge, though.
Yeah.
F1's huge. And it was a good race, too. And it was in Canada.
Shout out to Alfa Romeo of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Luxury. See? Yeah. I'm all about luxury.
So are we going to launch our Nation golf trip bidding to play?
Yes. I thought about this long and hard. Last year, we opened the bidding. I think we just had it open. And then that wasn't the best idea.
Why?
So,
because it started at $1?
Yeah. And then it was hard to keep track. So this is how we're going to do it this year. And last year I just said, DM us and your bid will get in. That got way too confusing because I had to check way too many apps too. This year,
just go to Tyler's house and submit your bid in person.
Yeah.
Chalmers, hit him with the address.
That's a number one. Just kidding.
So this is what we're going to do. My email is tyler@oilersnation.com.
That's worse than giving your address.
Yeah, probably.
It's also pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah. And Bagged Milk gives it out all the time. So people already know. Email me with the title or subject, real life golf bid or something along those lines, please.
Or something very cryptic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Submit your bid there.
Yes.
You need to be serious, obviously, because if you just bid nonsense, like that's not good for charity. The proceeds are going to Gregor's grad. You're going to get to golf with myself, Jay, and Chalmers in the Oilers Nation Open, which is coming up on August 19th.
So I was going to say 16th. That's why I paused. I'm like, no, wait a minute. It's an upside down 6.
Yeah.
I was going to say 18th.
So it's coming up on the 19th.
It's a Friday. It's an 8:30 in the morning shotgun. It's the perfect crime because after we can go have a fun Friday.
Yeah. So to get a team in this, which is a group of 4.
Yes, that's the luxury with us. You get to be 5.
You get to be 5 because it's you and a friend and then the 3 of us.
Yeah, we're cheating.
Yes, we're cheating.
For charity. Cheating for charity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So normally the golf tournament for 4 people is $1,000. So we are going to start the bidding to golf with us in our group of 5 at $500. I think last year Fanny Pack Freddie paid $600. Yep. I think that was the winning bid.
Yeah.
So the bidding this year, we're going to start a little higher, $500. You can send your bids to Tyler@OilersNation.com. Do we let this go for 1 week or 2?
Let's see. If you're getting flooded with bids, and we'll do 1 week. Or sure, okay.
We need to set it.
We need to set it.
1 week.
Of course we need
next
to set
Thursday.
1 week.
You have 1 week.
Okay.
For you and a friend to golf with myself, Jay, and Chalmers at the Oilers Nation Open. You get everything that you would get in the normal package, right? So the gift bag and the swag bag and all that stuff is included. You're going to be coming out to Cattail Crossing with us. Like you said, it's a Friday and it's early. So we're doing it a little bit differently this year with the early tee time, which I think is a lot better.
I love it a lot.
There's going to be a ton of giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
The drinks are flowing.
And as Fanny Pack Freddie experienced last year, we'll take care of you. We'll make sure you have a good time.
I think that.
Yeah, and it's not
one
like
of the two. They either had a lot of fun or they were extremely annoyed.
Yeah, and it's not like right after 18 the games are over. I mean, we had a nice little 1-hole play with Gregor and Sarah Valley's group. You know, like and then we have a dinner afterwards, and we go out and we hang afterward. Like it's a day. It's a full day. It's not just a golf.
Yeah. So it'll be a good time. Submit your bids. Tyler@OilersNation.com is where you send them. Bidding starts $500. Got to go up in increments of 50 is what we're going to say.
Wow. Really setting the ground rules. I like it.
I am a big rule follower. So there's that.
Except for when it comes to renovation.
Yes. Actually, I followed a lot of rules there. I've just made one mistake. It's not that bad. It's a fixable error.
It's kind of a big one.
Not really. Also, since we're on the topic of things you can get at nationgear.ca, Nation Vacation to Toronto.
Let's go.
I'm excited.
Can I tell you another way to find your heat vents?
What?
Can I tell you another way to find your heat vents?
Sure.
Do you have air conditioning?
No.
Okay. When it gets colder at night, pump your heat and then feel the floor. Pump your heat. Pump the heat up to 24 degrees. Let it run for about half an hour. And then go feel the floor and feel for the hot spots.
That's not.
Are you telling Yaremchuk to hump his floor?
Nope. I said pump.
Well, I was going to say in lieu of hot pocket pool.
Yeah. Okay.
Pump.
Thanks, Charles. Nation Vacation to Toronto.
Hell yeah.
2 Jays games, TFC game. If you listen to the podcast, you already know it is filling up. Like we're getting there.
It's amazing the rate at which it's selling.
It started off with a bang, which is great. Yeah. So now let's keep momentum going. I know there's a bunch of people that have expressed verbal commitments that we'll be locking up here soon. So, it'll be 40 or 50 of us.
I saw Yaremchuk offering to buy someone a beer if they came on the trip. And I was like, have his thumbs gone insane and not told his wallet?
The personal guarantee, if you come on the trip, we will enjoy a beer together.
At your expense?
Yes. We will enjoy a beer
right,
together.
Tyler will buy you a beer.
He's walking this back.
Yeah. Tyler, he'll buy you a beer.
Because that's what I read. And I made a note in the tweet thread that this is impossible.
That's what I'm saying.
Buying people beer.
If you like free beer, come on the trip. Tyler's buying you one.
Yaremchuk is looking out the window nervously right now, like, oh my God, I hope 10 people don't ask me for a beer on this trip.
And then towards the end of the trip, there'll be a point where Jay will be like, I haven't seen my credit card in like 3 days. I'm like, oh man, it fell behind on day one. Yeah. I saved it for you. I found it.
Well, joke's on you. I had it stuck to an earth magnet for.
That's right.
For 2 hours.
That's your credit card he stole out of your wallet on the flight down.
That's what you do. You magnetize all your credit cards for you on the trip, and then you get there. Oh man, my card's not working.
Oh, what's happening?
You try it. Does it work for you? Oh, fuck.
The machine doesn't work with my bank.
Oh man, I'm going full Anna Delvey on my foundation.
All right.
Well, that's a long stretch.
Pocket pool, Yaremchuk.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yep. I think we need to give a shout out to one other friend, and that would be Oodle Noodle and DoorDash.
Ding dong.
Promo code RealLifeDD gets you 25% off. No promo code.
What if the algorithm is analyzing your photos and they're just like, this guy needs help. Send him Viagra ads.
See, but like
this guy needs chemistry to help him get his dongling.
So
He ain't gonna do it on his own steam.
like my camera roll
right
on my phone is just podcast promo material. That's like straight up all it is. It's podcast promo material, a picture of me and Ben Scrivens, more podcast promo.
Imagine
material.
you sent out a dick
Burger.
pic and then you just saw Viagra ads for a month because it analyzed that you weren't packing sufficient heat.
So yeah, we got to help this guy.
Damn you.
Maybe it realized you weren't man enough.
What you did is
you needed some help when you floored over your floor vents.
You know what, Charles?
You put your phone in your pocket with the camera on, and your phone made a judgment call.
Oh, Zuckerberg.
Ding dong.
Charles, how much longer are you in St. Albert for? Are you going to swing by my place today?
Careful. It's gonna make
I'm
you
in St.
cut
Albert
vents.
all day. Yeah, I'm here all day. When you going home?
Hour-ish, hour and a half.
Send me the address, and if it works, it works.
Sounds good, man.
That's as close to a Chris Chalmers commitment as you'll ever get.
Yeah.
Ready? Wait.
Yeah.
Which means you're not going to see
You're not
him.
going to see it.
This is going to be a very St. Albert thing to say. What part of the city you in? North, south, east, west?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How in the
It's
hell?
not big enough. It's not big enough
If
to go
Chalmers
like
says the
that.
wrong neighborhood, he'll look at him with disdain. Go.
Do you know what I am sitting in front of right now?
Sure. No, I don't.
The hotspot Nietzsche's Pizzas.
Oh man,
Oh,
you are
McKinney?
like, that's a great spot, but you are legitimately a 3-minute drive.
You
from my
swinging
house.
by the Berg later for a drink, Charles?
No, it's not there anymore. Now it's Victory Life Church.
I'm surprised that the Burgundy Room is no longer in business. This is new information to me.
I don't ever remember that like existing in my life.
Same with Tap House shut.
It
No,
happened.
the Heights.
The Heights.
Oh, the
I'm
Heights.
before that. I'm a Heights guy. Man.
It's called the Heights.
They changed the name. It was the Heights Tap House, and then it changed hands. And they removed the Heights and just called it the Tap.
I think I remember the Tap House,
Oh, you.
but not from when I was 18, like from just driving past it as a kid.
You wouldn't last 1 minute.
You wouldn't have lasted a minute in the Burgundy Room. That's for damn
true.
sure.
That's true. They would have chewed you up.
Yeah.
Just from the stories I've heard, I believe you.
Oh,
Jane, I
man.
used to bartend there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And have parties there on the reg.
Oh, yeah.
And one time we were leaving, going down McKinney, and someone threw a beer bottle out the bus window on a pub crawl, and it spidered an RCMP cruiser's windshield.
Yeah.
And then we all had to get off the bus, and they were going to be giving everybody tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only time in my life speaking French has helped me, because the RCMP officer spoke French. I drew him away from the crowd, and in my best broken French said, "You will ruin me if you give everybody on this bus a ticket. This is how I earn my living."
And did he cut you a break?
Yep.
Didn't one guy take the fall? One guy had to take the fall.
And then we raised money for him, and then he beat the ticket.
Yeah.
What?
That's right. We crowdfunded his
Passed a
ticket.
hat around the original GoFundMe. He, like the toughest guy in the bus, took the heat for the bus.
Yeah.
Gave him a ticket. And then we raised money on the bus, gave him bills, said, "Here you go. You beat the ticket."
Well, good on him, man.
He got the money.
That's
how society should work.
Hey, you know what? Good for him. Like that. There's nothing wrong with that. He could have paid the fine with the money.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to use his time to fight it.
Fine.
And was rewarded for his time.
Everybody came out a winner, except for the police cruiser windshield.
Big loser there.
Your property taxes went up $1 because of that.
Yeah, they still talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Point being, McKinney, Nietzsche. I know that area, Chalmers.
Oh, yeah.
Nietzsche's still pretty delicious.
It's a good spot. That is still my dad's absolute go-to.
Yeah, the
I'm
sauce.
about to find out.
You're going to have some Nietzsche? With
They do donaires there.
Oh, Chalmers, you throw
No way.
donair sauce on that pizza when you go in.
That's why I'm here.
Okay. I
Well,
like
take your
everything
time.
here.
Tyler's going to be there in an hour and a half.
The likelihood you
pick up a pie for your Yaremchuk.
Me finding out that he was 3 minutes away is really making my head have to spin to figure out how to get out of this one.
All right. Shall we wrap?
What Chalmers wants is to be giving the illusion of being helpful.
Credit for the big
Not
salad.
actually helping you.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to buy the salad.
Here's ultimately what I'm worried about. I'll show up. I'll have a look around. I'll see some things that need some attention, and I'll start giving them that attention, and then I'll never leave.
No, that's not going to happen. It's not a dump. Like, it's fine.
There's
No,
just
I know
a
you're doing.
fridge
Yeah,
precariously
you're doing.
perched over
I
the
know.
stairs.
I know it's not a
Like,
dump. It looks like a pretty wicked house to renovate.
you just sawed a hole in your floor for no reason. You're like, what? Why didn't? Huh? I made 10 more doors, Chalmers. Look.
Shout out to our friends at Campio Brewing. Nietzsche's Pizza. They have good pizza. They're in St. Albert. If you're downtown and you want good pizza, though, downtown Edmonton, that is, not downtown St. Albert. Campio is your spot. Great patio, great beer, great pizza, great time all around. Shout out to Campio Brewing. All right. Good pod, everybody. This was a lot of nonsense with a little bit of Oilers talk mixed in the way the Lord intended it.
What was the Oilers talk?
We talked about McDavid and Matthews.
Oh, sure.
We discussed Xavier Bourgeois for 45 minutes straight.
How's he doing? I watched a bit of the Oil King Shawinigan game.
He looks really fucking good.
He says he's going to make the team next year, too.
Yeah. I think he might.
If you guys, if you're not watching the Memorial Cup right now, it is unbelievable hockey. Last night, I caught the overtime period, and it was 3-on-3 back and forth, and it was exciting.
That's so interesting. They do that in the Mem Cup.
I know.
But whatever.
You want to hear a quick story, Jay, before this thing ends? Guy comes to the door the other day, ding dong. I'm like, motherfucker, what is this?
Was DoorDash?
Mm-hmm. I was sold something by a guy who came to the door for the first time in my life because he was a Moose Jaw warrior.
Oh.
He was selling power washing and he was wearing Warriors gear. And I was like, what's up with that jacket? He's like, former Warrior. I'm like, really? I will take your service. And now I'm getting my house washed. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors.
Go Oil.
Tanner Jeannot.
Tanner Jeannot. Got a couple Calder votes.
Well deserved.
Yeah, very well deserved.
Braden Point.
I'm glad Mo Sider won.
Yeah, Mo.
That guy is so good.
He's sick, man. Like,
God, is he good?
Oh, if the Red Wings weren't so dang sharp, he could have fallen to the Oilers. Not that they would have taken him, but still.
That was a Broberg draft?
Yeah.
And they took him 6, right?
Yeah. I just remember when they took Sider, everyone was like, who the hell? What?
What was he slated to go? Second round or late first?
No, he was like a later first, like 18 to 20, somewhere in that range.
Man, he's a legit. He's going to be he's going to win so many Norrises. It's going to be insane.
The last 2 Norris Trophy winners have each been 23 years old. Mo Sider, I think, gets one by the time he's 25 at the latest.
Man, how does Yossi not win?
Because he's not as good as Makar.
But he set a defenseman scoring record, and Nashville does not make the playoffs if it isn't for Roman Yossi.
That's his MVP case then, not his.
He's old. Yeah, he should have been higher in the. What was he ranked 3rd in the Hart? I think.
No, Shesterkin was. I think Yossi was like 5th or something.
Like Makar.
Can I go get my pizza now?
Yeah, okay. See you, Charles.
Bye.
All right.
Yossi for Hart. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Good podcast, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 390 brought to you by the HGA Group, here to make your business better. Also here to make this podcast better. All right.
That was good.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.